Planetary Parade on 25th January. A rare planetary alignment. Are these some of the headlines that you came across in recent times? If yes, this is the video for you. Everything that you read and see on social media may not be completely true. So in the social media you see they are actually showing these planets lining up in one single sequence. Do you think it is going to happen? Well, it is not only going to happen in your lifetime, but in the lifetime of entire solar system. Forget about solar system. It is not going to happen in the lifetime of entire universe. So when we ask Google, it says in every 13.4 trillion years, this kind of alignment happens. Well, that is beyond the universe's age that we know today. Okay, jokes apart, now let's understand what is the reality, and how we can observe them. Here is a live view of the solar system right now. You can see the planets are not in straight line, isn't it? So Earth is here, Venus is here, Mercury is here, Mars is here, and if you zoom out, you can see Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. They are all spread across the solar system randomly, isn't it? Okay, so this is not correct, isn't it? If that is the case, then why this fuss about this alignment of planets? Now to understand that, I have to take you to the live sky. So tada! So here is the live sky, and right now you can see the sun in the sky, but we cannot see the planets. Obviously we will wait for the sun to set. So after the sunset, you'll see suddenly the stars are popping up. Along with the stars you can see the planets, isn't it? So towards the west you can see Saturn and Venus. Yes, they are visible to the naked eye. So not only that, if you look over your head, you'll see Jupiter shining very bright. And if you look towards the east, you'll see Mars in reddish in color. So with your naked eye, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 planets. That's wonderful. But there are some planets which are hidden from your view. What are those? So here you can see Uranus. So which is hidden from human eye. And once we zoom in, we can see, and for this to see, you need a pair of binoculars or a decent telescope. Now let's move towards the west and see there's another planet hiding actually just close to Venus. What is that? Yeah, you're right, that's Neptune. So let's look at Neptune. So it is also not visible to the naked eye, and for this you need a decent telescope or a little bit advanced telescope. So with the naked eye you can watch 4 planets, but if you have a pair of binoculars you can watch 5. If you have a telescope you can watch all these 6 planets. That's great. So here all of them are visible just after the sunset, and you can see till 10 p.m. Now if you have a telescope you can see Jupiter like this. Wow, so you can see the Jupiter's bands and also the Galilean moons, the famous moons, Io, Europa, Callista and Ganymede. That's wonderful. Now let's look at Saturn. So how does the Saturn look through telescope? So here is the Saturn, and with the telescope you can see something like this. Wow, so you can see the rings of Saturn along with the moons like Titan and other moons. That's wonderful. And not only Saturn, you can see other planets too. So let's look at Venus, which is just beside Saturn. If you look at Venus through telescope, it looks something like this. Oh, doesn't it look like the moon? Yes, Venus also goes through different phases because it is before the Earth, right? It is inner planet. So you will see half Venus. That's wonderful. Now apart from Venus, what else we can see? You're right, we can see Mars. So let's go towards the east and look at Mars through telescope. Right now the Mars is actually at closest point to the Earth. So if you look at the Mars, you will see some details. For that you need a very good telescope. So if you have a very good telescope, probably you would see the polar ice. Yes, you can see the polar ice of Mars and also some details on the Mars. So if you look at Uranus, how does it look? So let's go to Uranus and see. Uranus just looks like this, a faint bluish ball of light. Okay, so that is how we can spot Uranus. Even through telescope we cannot see much details. If you have very big telescope, probably we can see some of its moons. Yes, like Triton and other moons. Okay, but how about Neptune? Yes, Neptune is very faint. With telescope, again you will see like a small dot. Okay, small dot, may not be more than this. So what is wonderful to see is that Saturn, Jupiter with moons, Saturn with rings, Venus face, and Mars is polarized. These can be seen with a decent telescope. Okay, if you want to just see with your eyes, then you can see 4 planets like I said. Now the good thing is that moon is also not there in the sky, because moon adds a lot of light pollution. So right now the moon is in crescent phase, so it is not disturbing the view. So that's the reason this time is actually best to see this planetary alignment. But is it going to stay for a long period? Yes, it is not just for 25th of January, but you can see for at least 3 to 4 weeks from now. Okay, and coming to these alignments or arrangement of planets in the sky, is this rare? No, it's not rare. Now let's go ahead in time. So right now we are in 2025, let's go to 2027. During the same time, let's say January, still we can see some planets, right? Saturn is visible, obviously. Apart from Saturn, you can see Mercury. But after some time, you would see more and more planets. Here you can see Uranus, obviously. And let's say after some time, you start seeing Jupiter and Mars too. So when it comes to this alignment, it is not that pretty rare, okay? So it's common, every few years we can see these planets, and they may not be visible at the same time. Sometimes you need to wait for early morning VRs to see other planets. Okay, some planets will be visible in the late evening, some planets will be visible in the midnight, some planets will be visible in the early morning. So all the best for your observation. Happy sky gazing.